As someone who's autistic and has ADHD, I love the whole idea of having a commonplace book. A notebook or place where I can explore further my special interests. It really tickles the autistic part of my brain. However, the ADHD part of my brain doesn't really like the traditional commonplace book. Hola, my name is Soraya, and today we're going to be talking about Zibaldones, the commonplace book for, in my opinion, those with ADHD. But before we get into what a Zibaldone is, I should probably explain what a commonplace book is, because you may or may not have heard of one. A commonplace book is a personally curated notebook, like this one here, that is a collection of quotes and information around a centralized theme. That book is then broken down into different subheadings, which are then indexed at the start of the book. These subheadings are, say, a subgenre of this centralized theme. So whenever you find any quote or little bit of information, you can select which subheading to put it under, which then helps you explore the theme further. For example, if I was to keep a commonplace book, I'd probably keep a commonplace book on one of my special interests, which is Henry VIII and his reign. I could have a subheading for each of his wives. I could also have a subheading about the formation of the Church of England, another one about his illnesses. You get the idea. Why commonplace books are so important and why many scholars and philosophers have been using them for millennia, because they're an amazing tool for memory retention about your specialized subject. Also, they help you explore that subject even further and then make you ask questions which then develop into new ideas, taking the exploration of your special interest even further. Now, like I said, the autistic part of my brain really loves the whole thing of a commonplace book. And as someone who's autistic, I will always have the special interest of Henry VIII and his reign, because literally it's my Roman Empire. However, I sometimes get really crazy and intense hyperfixations that are ever changing. Like they can literally last no more than a couple of hours. That is the little gremlin ADHD part of my brain. For example, the other day I was watching the amazing sea drama, Princess Royal. And there was a certain scene that sparked my interest into different and weird paternity tests. But I couldn't keep a commonplace book about this because, one, my hyperfixation only lasted like 7 hours at best. And two, I would literally probably only fill out like maybe 10 pages out of a 240 page notebook. So if I want to record this like a commonplace, but it's really wasteful for me to have like a commonplace book about this, and knowing that I'm definitely going to have another ADHD hyperfixation, what can I do? In comes the Zibaldone. Zibaldone in Italian actually means a heap of things, which perfectly describes this commonplace book strategy. Unlike a traditional commonplace book, the Zibaldone has not one theme. I guess if you're ADHD, you could make the theme hyperfixations, but getting to the point. Like the commonplace book, they were a personally curated notebook, and they were completely randomized with heaps of different information. They first appeared in Florence in the late medieval period, early Renaissance period, and they were kept by a lot of the Florentine merchants. In these Zibaldones, they would keep stuff like prayers or metric systems, even prices of goods at the time. Pretty much record anything that their little heart desired. And because they're just a version of a commonplace book, they have the same benefits of memory retention, creating new ideas, and information recording. And because it is so randomized, that's why I think it is the perfect commonplace system for anyone with ADHD. Because if you're like me who has really severe hyperfixations that are always ever changing, you kind of need to like purge that out of your system. And let's face it, sometimes the people around you do not like to be constantly bothered with your hyperfixation at the time. So what better way, if you can't talk to people about the stuff that you're interested in, is writing it down in a notebook that helps you explore the idea further. Sometimes as well with my changing hyperfixations, I do come back to a previous hyperfixation and become obsessed with it again. Keeping a Zibaldone allows me to go back to that and find things in the information I found before and explore those things further. Anyway, I would really love to hear from you guys to see if you have a commonplace book or a Zibaldone. Let me know in the comments. I really would love to hear from you. Ciao for now.